to the Most High in Christ. We are here today just to, again, use every opportunity to try to show our people what America's true motive, what the U.S. corporation's true motive really is when it comes to this land and us as a people. What their true motive towards us and this land is. This earth, but we're going to just keep it to this land. We're just going to keep focusing on this land and who we are on this land, okay? So, it's not about crime, she said. So we're going to listen to her and her explanation, but again, I'm try to use every opportunity. I hope I can make 1,000 videos counteracting and rebuttaling what they tried to use as a narrative to what their motive. As she explained Trump's motive, I'm pretty sure she's gonna insinuate that this is their country, that the United States belong to them. They will never deny, they will never tell the truth about that, how they got this country. And we all know that the whole regime of white supremacy or white people, Edomites in this country, is a terrorist act. We know that. But they point the finger at other people saying, look what they're doing wrong in our country. In our country, you get it? Okay, so let's just listen to her, and we're going to see.
In Washington, D.C., homicides are down 32%. Robberies are down 39%, armed carjackings are down 53%, assaults with a dangerous weapon are down 27%. In Washington, D.C., the rates of burglaries and assaults with a dangerous weapon are at their lowest point in 30 years. Nevertheless, because he's so tough on crime, President Trump today deployed hundreds of National Guardsmen and women into Washington, D.C.
Now, her first attempt to hold on to the country and cover up the fact that they are occupying illegally someone else's country, someone else's inheritance, the fact that they are tyrants, the news and everybody else is set up here, this system, to pretend that Trump is the president of the United States. If Barack Obama was not the president of the United States, but the CEO of a corporation, then every one of their so-called presidents of their imaginary territory, some people say, well, you're crazy. We're sitting on this land, and I'm in Washington, D.C. Are you in Washington, D.C.? Are you in Texas? Are you in Indiana? Are you in Georgia? You get my picture? Are you? Or are you in some imaginary place that they drawed on a piece of paper and said, we're going to name this? They call the lands after their own names. They came over here and named our inheritance after their own names. They put their own names on the inheritance of the land, which was ours, the copper-colored people, and they gave us another name, detaching us from our inheritance. Jeremiah 17:4. We discontinue from our inheritance. The land, the law, our sovereignty. They discontinued us from that when they gave us other names, and they stole our inheritance. Okay? That's what's happening here. That's what has happened, but she pretends that she's pointing at a criminal when she's a part of the criminal enterprise. Do you get it? I'm trying to get y'all to see. Are we going to take these people? Are we going to take this government from them? No, the Most High is. All the Most High wants us to do is to say, we are not a part of your citizenship. What do we got to lose? They taking everything from us. They taking everything, your jobs, your children, your life. What do you have to lose to declare your allegiance to your ancestors? You have nothing to lose. You're going to see that. Do he have to take everything and put y'all in a place to where y'all can't eat, can't think right, tormented with fear, hopelessness, and everything? Does he have to let them get you back there? Well, he said he's not going to anyway. But some of you, like right now in Washington, D.C., it's been reported that a bunch of young men have put on masks and went around and started looting already. That's what the Most High is going to eliminate. That's why he's using Trump and this wicked regime to eliminate those people out of our nation. Most of them are black. Most of them are northern and southern kingdom Israelites are still criminals, or still in their criminal enterprise mode. So that's what he's going to do. But unless you recognize who you are, bethink yourself, come back to your covenant that your parents placed you in. Now they placed you in, your ancestors placed you place you into the covenant that God made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They placed you. They swore that curses on you if they did not teach you and continue in God's laws and teach you to continue in his laws. The curse is on you. Just like when you were born in these hospitals, they called it you gave birth, they docked you in the United States. They docked you, their ship, in the United States. You are a vessel. They docked you in the United States, meaning they had you in the United States, what they call their hospitals, their jurisdiction, their citizenship, their government. They gave them consent to register you as part of their property. They docked you. That's what they call a ship when it docks. They birthed the ship. They brought it to the dock. Gave birth. Brought it to the dock of whatever land they sailed to. They docked it. They birthed it. Okay, you get the picture now? We've got books and everything to show you. I'm going to put that online, or you can look for it yourself. They docked you into the citizenship or the hands of the United States to register you, your birth certificate, register you as their property so they can take loans out on you as their workforce, taxpayers, creditors. All right? So this is the system that they keep going, using you as property, not as human beings, because they couldn't do human beings like that. That would be an injury, that would be genocide, that would be they gentrify your neighborhood. That would be illegal according to international standards and godly standards. It would be against the Constitution. It would be against the peace and friendship treaty that your ancestors made with this wicked nation when they came over here and swore that they would not harm us. Got rid of slavery, but they coup d'etat the government that we had. We had a black Northern Kingdom Swartzy government in place, and George Washington, he chopped down the cherry tree, the red flag with the green star in it. They call that the cherry tree. The Moorish government, the Northern Kingdom's government, the Israelites government. And when he did that, they began to rule over us. And when our ancestors died, they died just like the Maccabees, under the curse that the Maccabees had on them from the Greeks. It's against the law, punishable by death, if you tell your children who they are. You can't keep your customs. You can't keep your laws. You can't have your identity. We take all of that and we call you Greeks. Greek Gentiles. You're no longer Israelites. The same thing that Romans did here when they got here. Same thing the Romans and the Greeks did when they came over here to force us into slavery. They knew who we were. They knew we were sovereign on the earth, later on sovereign on in our land where we were living, that our ancestors had cultivated and came over here and was here thousands of years before they got here. And they just like any other human race, they were supposed to pass their inheritance, their land, their houses, their farms, their animals, everything down to their offspring so we could continue to generate in peace. But these Edomites saw different. They had a different plan for us. We know God let them do it, but there was a time frame on that. The time is up for us being their slavery. He wouldn't have never started waking us up if he meant for us to stay in slavery. How can we stay slaves if we know that the people who are holding us captive are devils and they're preventing us from serving God, our God, the God of creation? How can we, in a conscious mind, agree to that? We can't. And that's why I'm trying to wake you up to who you are, as well as the Israelite camps and the camp leaders. They're telling you who you are, but they're in fear of their life, and they're not going to stand up and organize like those people doing in Washington, D.C. They're organizing their people and coming out saying, Trump got to go. All we have to do is organize and make a public declaration. We are the Israelites. We are our ancestors. We are still living. We are the copper-colored people. We are the indigenous people that was here when you came here. That's all we got to do. We don't have to get no paper and file on records and get them to agree or to approve. All we have to do is start living, being witnesses to who God is. We are in his image. All we have to do is act like him. Stop acting like slaves and bowing down to people and giving them jurisdiction over us. Let's watch a little more and I'm going to close it out.
And the U.S. military to be. Nevertheless, because he's so tough on crime, President Trump today deployed hundreds of National Guardsmen and women into Washington, D.C. Send the U.S. military to become the police force in Washington, D.C. The lead in the Washington Post tonight, quote, President Donald Trump announced today that he is placing the D.C. police under direct federal control and will deploy the National Guard to the streets of Washington, an extraordinary flex of federal power that stripped city leadership of its ability to make law enforcement decisions and could expose residents of the nation's capital to unpredictable encounters with a domestically deployed military force. A domestically deployed military force.
Okay. See, they're acting like this is the first time that this is happening. This is how they have kept their occupation, kept us occupied and assimilating into their government since they've been here, since George Washington chopped down the cherry tree. They have used military occupation and the voting system and miseducation and making laws that was not godly laws, was not the law of the land, the Constitution, which was achieved, taken from God, Mosaic law, the civic and the moral laws. That's where the Constitution and all of their laws are based on. They don't enforce them like godly people. And then they make other laws like Jim Crow laws to hold us under their captivity. So they are pretending that Trump is doing something that they don't want when they've been doing it for 500 years the same way he's doing it now. Right? And the other thing I want to say, let's see.
because tough on crime. Do you think it's really about crime? Do you think it's really about being tough on crime? Do you want to maybe track down the axe and machete triple murderer Trump just released to the street?
See, it's not, no, it's not about crime because you guys are criminals. How can a criminal say they are cleaning up crime when you are the criminals? You are the reason crime is on the streets. You took our inheritance. If you're pointing towards us as identifying us as the criminals, demonizing us, which I admit, the Most High I just admitted he's got to clean up the criminals in our nation for us to be birthed. Okay, but you guys are the criminals. I don't want to be redundant. And what Trump is doing, I won't be before you long. Get my thoughts together. You know, I always will work off the cuff, get an idea, opportunity, and I take off. But what they're doing, they realize that they have lost grip on their slaves, right? In other words, they see, and it's a campaign, it's an all-out campaign for all white supremacy. Even those people that are marching in Washington, D.C., they are doing it for the regime of white supremacy because they know their kingdom is falling. Why would we say their kingdom is falling? Because we have declared that we are no longer Negro, black, and colored. All over Facebook, all over TikTok, all over YouTube, everybody has declared that they didn't declare that we are the sons of living God yet. That's coming later. But they don't want that. They don't want to have to say that. And they think that one way to prevent them from having to declare that we are the children of God, that we are the true owners of our inheritance here in this land, not only that, but all over the earth where we've been held captive. Although God separated the nations and gave them their land, they violated when they took us in captivity in their land. So wherever we set our foot, we own the land. If they moved us to America, we own where we live. If they moved us all over in China or wherever we are, they're holding us in captivity and ruling over us. We're in their hands. In the eyes of the Most High God, we own that land. See what I mean? So if wherever they are attacking us and abusing us at, we're in their hands, and the Most High said that they have to pay their blood in that land to clean the land where we are. The blood is crying out from the earth. Hey, they're murdering your people down here, your chosen, your saints, the church. The blood is crying out. And the Most High is waking us up so we can mentally disconnect from their system. You got to mentally disconnect before you can walk away. Your mind leads your body. Your body just can't walk away. Your mind saying, stay here. Your body got another man saying, no, I'm going to go. No, your body controls, your mind controls your body. So we got to mentally say, we are no longer citizens of the United States. We are the indigenous people of this land. So I know a lot of people are saying, well, what are we going to do? What are we going to do if they just cut us off from our Social Security and all of that? They're going to do that anyway. The Most High is going to take care of you. That's why you got to come back to these laws and commandments. And another thing, lack of faith. You can tell when the Most High is not with somebody because they are committing crime and they're criminals, like them young men that are mobbing all those stores. That's a mob. If they'll go in those stores like that, you think they won't come in your house and take over your houses and stuff? The homeless, the drug addicts, the degenerate, the drug dealers, when they can't deal their drugs, they're going to be homeless too and hungry. Okay? So that's why we have to unite together, not only to defend ourselves against this so-called United States government, but against our own people. We have to unite. We see that the camps are saying y'all got to come and put on these purple shirts, or ISUPK or whatever, WFI. If y'all ain't got our shirts on and down here paying us tithes or whatever, then we ain't gonna help you when you get in trouble. The Most High still is not gonna let you fail because they won't help you. If you turn back to Him, He will give you your supplications, your prayers. He will answer your prayers. If you repent, you got to repent from sin. You got to realize that what you're doing is evil. When you're not keeping the laws, you might not be murdering, robbing, stealing. You might be going to church every Sunday, but you're still the wicked if you're not keeping the laws of the Most High God. The Sabbath is where you should start. Then you start with, we're eating defiled food. Ain't much you can do about that. But you don't have to put them pork chops and pork in your mouth. You don't even have to touch it. Not even bacon and sausage. Okay? So that's the things we got to start doing. You got to dress with your dress codes. You might have to tuck your fringes in to go to work. If you're still on these jobs and stuff, you might have to hide your identity on your jobs and in public. You might have to. Your fringes and clothes, except for you wear your dresses, and the men, they dress modest, and the women dress modest. The men, not sexual, not tempting. We got to look out for each other. So if you're in your right mind and your godly mind, you'll start keeping these laws, because that's what's going to protect you in these last days. We have been in Jacob's trouble. This is Jacob's trouble. What the hell are you talking about when you say it'd be no Jacob's trouble when you living in a shack down in Florida, in somebody else's apartment, under their jurisdiction? You talking about ain't trouble? That is trouble. That is trouble. You running around making YouTube videos trying to stay alive. That's trouble. That's trouble. You don't own nothing of your own. That's trouble. That's Jacob's trouble. So, you can act like you don't hear me. You don't have to give me a thumbs up. The Lord is protecting me. He's taking care of me and my family. And I thank Him. I don't have to depend on thumbs up, YouTube. I must be doing something right. But the Bible said when all men are against you, then you're doing something right. And you preaching the gospel, then you must be preaching the right gospel. All men, all the Israelites, instead of them promoting what I'm saying, they'll look at the video, they'll download it, they'll use the talking points, and they'll pretend like the Spirit gave that to them. Well, He did through me. You could have gave me a thumbs up to indicate to the people that this is what they should be doing. Don't take it back and get YouTube videos and votes and thumbs up. That means y'all have a really low self-esteem and you don't have a relationship with the Most High. I don't care how many scriptures you know. The devil knows the Bible too. So you are very childish. You men are very childish, and you always, especially when you're always causing division between the old and the young. You're still doing that, childish men in y'all 40s and 50s, still talking about them old men. When y'all are old men, y'all old men. Look at the way the young men in their 16, 17, 18, they don't listen to you. They think you crazy and old. You keeping the division going, man. Instead of uniting the people, you camps are keeping division going by pretending that you can't learn nothing from the older generation. You're a bunch of childish little children operating out of your child mental state. You don't know what none of that means. I know you don't. Even your camp leaders, they are childish. So what we're trying to do, people who are thinking in their adult and mature, you can understand what I'm saying. We have to unite and become one, cohesive in our thinking and in how we express who we are. Egocentric, ethnocentric, narcissistic, racist. We have to think of ourselves first, And we have to stop giving these people and these nations jurisdiction over us, not by fighting them unless we self-defending ourselves. We're going to defend ourselves. We have to defend ourselves in a way, first, that we tell them, back up. We know who we are. You have no jurisdiction over us. We rebuke you in the name of Yahweh Shai. We cast you away, and every curse that you bring to us, we send it back to you. And commission our angels to fight for us and to go out and defend us against these nations and let those whirlwinds go on them and destroy them, right? Destroy those people who coming to destroy us, right? That's what we got to do. We got to speak those things into existence. We got to don't go to none of those protests, because you are consenting. They work for all of them working for the same people. Those Edomites out there, they know what they're doing. They want us to come out to consent to the government they set up. We don't have to do that. What they're going to do to us, they're going to do it to whether we consent or not. And if we don't consent, then we get the Most High to fight for us. If we do consent, he going to turn his back and keep shaking his head like they don't see it yet. And he's going to keep letting these curses and these Edomites torment us until we say we don't have a lot, we don't have nothing to live for under these people's captivity. Let's go turn to the Lord. The 1/3 has to turn back to the Most High God, right? The 1/3. But all of us that has already turned to him, he's a covenant keeping God. Remember that. He's going to deliver you, heal your body, feed you, do everything he needs to do. We're waiting on the other people. We're waiting on them. He's going to seal them. He's going to seal them, and he's going to get them ready for salvation, to be delivered, to bring all hell fire and curses, the plagues of Egypt on these people, so they can say, you are the Most High God is fighting for you. He has compassion for you. You are the sons of the living God, and we're going to show you compassion too. That's what they're attempting to show. They haven't did it yet by them marching and collecting in front of the White House and marching Washington, D.C. They want us to think that they are having compassion on us. That's a trick. Don't believe that. They got to say it out of their own mouth. They got to back up and give us our space so we can start governing ourselves right here on earth, just like they did the fake Native American Indians. They know what they have to do. There's no research has to be done. The rights of indigenous people is for us. You can Google that article, those 40-something articles in the rights of indigenous people. They explain to a T what they have to do to restore us back to our heritage. All praises to the Most High.